Oh.
Well, there's the rocket launch from the other night too.
Oh, cool.
Oh, sweet.
A lot going on.
Oh, did that actually, that happens?
Yeah, can we talk a second about that? The Artemis
The tiny
rocket
little
went
Artemis.
up. They had a last minute problem.
That's the last thing I heard. So I
Yeah, and
just
so
assumed
which
it was-
never really, I don't think the one guy said that he had never, in his 37 years at NASA, had to go out to the breathing rocket, and they had to, because it's hydrogen. Hydrogen? Yeah. And I don't know if hydrogen is actually a very, very, very small molecule. And so to fill that tank with hydrogen to ignite it, it leaks out everywhere. So that's why they had to cancel the thing a couple times. But they went out, like these three brave men went
my
out
gosh.
into the humming and, ready to go rocket.
Ready
and
to
we're out there
explode.
tightening little things.
Tightening.
Tightening.
Oh my gosh.
Like tiny glasses, screwdrivers.
Well, yeah, because they're in
Rocket.
the blast zone, and just because I've actually been there and seen where they launch. They launch the rocket over a huge pool of water, right, so that the ground doesn't get burned, and so that's partly why you see all that great plumage come up.
steam.
It's actually steam,
Oh wow.
but it's a pretty dangerous little spot down there, and that's the biggest rocket. I think it's bigger than the Titans. Artemis is a significantly bigger rocket. So
I would simply freeze. I would get out there and be like, and then they'd have to bring a cart out to
Pick you
me
up.
well, I just can't even
Going
imagine because
back.
one spark,
So it wouldn't move. Yeah.
and all that fuel goes off.
all of it.
All of it.
Do they come back and they're like, I just feel so alive?
Yeah, the
my
one guy
God.
came
Like the
back
commercial.
and he was like, yeah, we did our job. It was great. And I really, and it was like, man, that engine was breathing and hopping and moving around.
It can't be that hard. It's not like it's rocket science.
It's not like it's rocket science.
But it is.
Well done.
I've climbed that tower at Cape Canaveral.
Oh really?
Yeah, so
Cool.
this is gonna date me, really date me.
Like, did you break in as
No,
a kid?
this is really
Because I
gonna
believe
date
that.
me. 1770 or 1976 was the
1776.
bicentennial of the U.S. And I happened to be in Florida at my grandparents', and they opened up a few things because it was the 200th anniversary of the U.S. And we had an opportunity to stand in line and go to the actual NASA real stuff. And so, I don't know, we were there the middle of the night, and they only let like 200 people in or something. I don't remember.
Oh my gosh.
But
That's really
we got to
cool.
climb the orange tower that goes right up to the top. And then, because I was a kid and not like this, like I am now, they let me get into the Apollo capsule.
Really?
Heck yeah.
So, I was so, it's shaped my life in a lot of ways, right?
Yeah.
Like, I totally am a space freak because I got to touch that stuff.
That's
And
awesome.
every time I see that huge garage, I'm like, I was there. I was very little and I didn't really understand
cool.
it, but I was there.
I
I'm
mean,
super jealous.
Yay, that's
when
so
I was
cool.
very little, I got to go to the Smithsonian a few times, and even that is like in my memory. There's like they have the lunar module that wasn't used there, or at least they did when I was a kid, that you could like walk through and really actually see. And then they also had the astronaut ice cream that was
yes.
dehydrated and like
There it is.
tasted like strawberry ice cream but didn't feel like it. So like these two things are forever in my brain together.
And then
So cool.
I went on, I unfortunately we went into COVID lockdown, and I don't have these pictures with me here today, but I went on a road trip through Tucson, because that's how I usually practice for the bus. And who would know this but my brother, that there's actually a huge Titan missile in a silo in Tucson. So we drove into this thing. I didn't know where he was taking me, but I'm in. So we get in there, and I am totally nerding out. And my brother was like, it's okay, just calm down, And I'm like, no, man. Like, do you know where we are? Do you know where we are? And he's like, we're in this tour group with all these old people, and, I'm like bouncing off the walls, talking nonstop, and my brother's trying to pretend like he doesn't know me. So there it is.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
and so we get in there, and I realize that it is where they filmed Star Trek First Contact.
Oh.
And it's where Picard touches the rocket and he says, "Oh, this is such a great moment of history to be able to touch the first warp engine." So we're on that platform in this thing in the
With
basement.
the first warp engine.
Yeah. And I'm like losing my marbles, and my brother is like, "It's okay, Kate, it's okay." And I'm like, "No, you did. Data jumped from here, and Picard touched it, and
I get touched, but Picard touched.
I know." And so he took pictures of me at the control station. So I actually got to turn the key. So I'll find those for someday. But I've got pictures of me right there because I was just. And then we went outside, and they had the engines, like the engines from different ones. So you got to see the complexity and the shape and size of those things that heat up on the bottom. Wow. Mind blow.
So jealous.
Blow. There it is. Yeah. Oh my God.
That was you. We could just Photoshop your face right on Picard's face.
Yeah, and
Well,
they
look
have
at
a lot of photos.
Picard's look. See that look of, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever touched.
Yep.
And Data's,
I had that.
Data's look of what are you doing?
What are you doing?
He looks
But
like
I
he's
had
gonna-
the Picard look, and my brother had the Data look.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Perfect.
I take you to these things because I know you like them, but then you're embarrassing. Thank you for listening to that.
Yay.
That was cool.